Welcome back to the channel, guys. Ed from Kansas City. So I am on my regular phone. I do want to apologize about all of the background noise. So with that being taken care of, let's dive into this video. Thanks again for tuning in. It is Sunday, guys. Is it November? November the 23rd, guys. A few days from Thanksgiving. I want to get into this video, and we're just talking about, you guys have messaged me. I did hear that, and it is very overwhelming to me. It is very heartbreaking, guys, being free to play. And the minuscule, minimal, small, insignificant amount of gifts or resources and things you get is free to play. So I do want to apologize about that. I am not the one to blame. Of course, IGG is the one to blame. So Den was sharing with me. Den and another person shared with me. Let me see here, guys. So here are some of the things you guys were expressing to me in the last video. One person was saying that they'd rather listen to me talk than to repeat a background for an hour. I feel you, buddy. But you got to keep in mind, I like listening to my videos as well, and I like the background. So I like listening to me talk too, but I like to have certain songs I like in the background. So that will change a little bit, but not too much. Somebody asking for something. Den said that there, which it's crazy, man. I'm gonna leave it in his language so you guys can see it in the original language. So, it's really crazy, guys, because it's a lot of stuff that I just honestly just didn't realize that you guys were showing me about free to play. I mean, it's really crazy, guys, that so much of this is honestly hard to gain. So you can see Dan is saying there, he's like, no offense, he said it's very difficult. You have no idea what you're talking about. Sorry. Well, no, this was another person. But you guys can see it right there. It's crazy, man. I actually don't know. I really don't know about free to play, guys. I don't know it from a free to play perspective. One person said first you should buy a computer for streaming. I do have that computer, guys. I will show you right here. Let me show you guys. Let's go right here. All right, so I have a Dell that I got. This was one of the computers I was using. I actually was using a different one than that one, a touchscreen HP that I used to try for gaming and streaming, but it was too weak. Needed a new graphics card, more memory, just needed faster everything. And then that one is very slow, so not too great. So I'm using the Dell, and I got to connect over there to that one. And I'm watching these guys on YouTube. They are seem to be in some problems, but anyway, my point is this, guys. My point is this: is that I honestly, really did not know, and it's crazy the gap in my understanding of pay to play and free to play. Guys, if you thought there was a gap in like me as a pay to play player, a former pay to play player, If you thought there was a gap in me being a pay-to-play player from people like Emperor accounts or fully maxed accounts like First Night and Pepsi Star and OCBR or whatever those guys' names, these mega titan accounts like Queen Lizzie, these major boss accounts. It's a ton of them, guys. If you thought there was a difference between me and let's look at some of these guys, an account like this. If you thought there was a difference in what my account looked like compared to these guys, listen, guys, this is the point I'm making. Here's the point I'm making. When I was a free to play account, no, I'm sorry, when I was a pay to play account, I can't even fathom what these guys were spending on the game. There was a huge gap in what I was spending in comparison to what these guys are spending. First Night is a beast, guys. He always gets every new leader skin, and he's in it to win it, guys. A man will not stop. He won't pause. He won't quit. He won't cease, guys. He perpetually, continually, just for eons, he just keeps. Everything is maxed in here, guys. The only thing he doesn't have is Emperor pieces, which one day he will get one. I promise you guys. First Night will get an Emperor piece, guys, because he's connected. He has the right allies. Eventually, his turn will come up for him to get a Emperor piece, and then from there, he may get more. And I don't think he's necessarily looking forward to the new Emperor pieces. He wants one of the older ones, the Supreme Emperor pieces. All right, so with that being said, this is the point I'm making, guys. These guys here, guys, from what I used to spend to what these guys spend, and I don't know if there is an account in here that is similar to what mine's was, because some of these guys have so many amazing kills that is crazy. If I go to the just the guilds or something like that, I probably could have found accounts similar to mine's. I don't know where my account that I used to have is anymore, but of course my account looked better than that. But the point I'm making is, guys, the level of from what I used to spend, for what I've spent in large mobile, $70,000 to $85,000 on large mobile, compared to what people like these guys I just showed you, fully maxed accounts and Emperor accounts, spend on large mobile, where they're spending $200,000, $300,000, $400,000, $500,000, $600,000 and $700,000 on large mobile. I can't imagine that. But the flip side of that is, I cannot imagine what a free-to-play player goes through. And some of you guys let me know. You said, okay, Ed, play for a couple of months as free-to-play and see what you actually earn and see what you actually get as far as the rewards and the benefits that you can get from being free to play. And then talk to us and let us know what you actually can upgrade or do. Now, I've been doing the very least, and like Dan was one that said it takes so long that I would not even have the time to participate in all of the events and the quests and everything you would have to participate in at every moment, all day, every day, in order to actually make it actually work, actually get a benefit out of it. So yes, there are many things you can do. Yes, there are many gifts you can get. I know I've gotten things like familiar, um, familiar. I know I've gotten familiar packs like Q Hop and things like that from things like the Coliseum. I think it was. Those were some places that I've gotten them from. Let's go there and check it out. No, not the Coliseum, guys. The actual Libereth. The Libereth. So this was a place. No, guys. The Kingdom Tycoon. The thing about it is that you can get in here. They don't have it now. You can get some really major things in here, but as people say, those things are not going to be handed out to you frequently. You know, you can get blazing stars, blazing ember. There are familiar packs or familiars in here. There is a lot of things in here, but as everybody is aware, it takes a very long time to actually benefit from it. I remember I had to purchase, like, man, I would purchase. Let me give you guys an example here. Getting some champion stuff in here, guys. That's great. So give it another main there. Nope, missed it there. Nothing there. Can we get another one? Nope. But we're gonna go to there in a minute. But I'm gonna show you guys. So now here's another thing too. You have to get tokens, right? You have to get tokens first and foremost, which you can get in doing hell events and other events and expeditions that Lords Mobile comes out with. You can get those things, but they accumulate so slowly and not at any fast pace at all. So I actually feel what you guys were saying. I actually do feel what you guys were saying. I do really recognize that it is difficult to make progress in Lords Mobile when you are sincerely free to play, man. I mean, I just started with this account here that's not even a completely brand new account. This has work on it, and I can see the difficulty already in trying to obtain my familiars and troops as well as better gear. So that definitely leaves me in a very uncertain situation and circumstance, because I actually have no idea when my next update will be, my next build to my account, when it will increase in some sort of a stat. So one thing, I want to do this first though. I'm going to get this free stuff out of here from logging in. I used to always get that stuff there, of course. Doing little events like this will get you something. Even watching something like that, it gets you something there. A few little speeds there, some technos and some resources. I was hoping for another one of those, but it didn't happen. You can always get your kingdom labors just simply by doing more of the labors that are required down here, which if you're free to play and you have the time, you should be doing all of that. But that requires so much of your time and energy and attention. And so one of the things I used to always just buy this here, unlock everything, get the tomes that I was need, and the techno lobes for research that I would need, and whatever else that it has to offer in there. But as you guys say, it is a very it is a it is a very lopsided difference there. You know, look at it like this: a person who doesn't spend anything in large mobile, or a person who's spending $5 or $10 a month on large mobile, compared to a person who is spending $3,000 to $5,000 per month on large mobile. That's a big difference. And to be honest, a person after a certain time, like max to players like First Night, they actually only reduced to spending probably about 1,000 a month on Lost Mobile when there's really nothing to buy other than Lunite and speeds, things like that, or basic things like that. So once they've spent all that they can really spend and are waiting for the next update, then they have to just sit back and just constantly pay for warring, such as events and replacing troops and maintenance and the cost of rallying and warring and wonder battles and just fighting in general. And really, it could go beyond $1,000 because I've spent just on Lunite a few times, a few hundred, in just one thing, and then there's always the need for more. So, yeah, I want to say, guys, that what you guys said, I want you guys to know that I actually agree with that. I agree that it is very difficult to it's very difficult to it's very difficult. And that's what I want you guys to know. I get that. I understand that. How come IGG don't get that? That's what and if IGG gets it, why don't they up the ante? Why don't they increase the rewards for what pay to play can get on a regular? So that pay to play players, free to play players, I'm sorry guys, if IGG really recognizes that it takes years. I mean, literally, you can have played large mobile since 2016, and if you're free to play, and especially if you're like true free to play, I mean absolute free to play, like you have zero money to spend on this game, then if IGG knows that, why doesn't IGG give these free to play players hope or something tangible regularly that will benefit their accounts? I'm talking about that would help with familiars, and that would help with gear, and that would help with speeds and building up their accounts. It's just about the ecosystem in large mobile, guys. That the pay to play feeds off the free to play, or the super titans, the super six-figure accounts feed off the pay to play that don't spend as much. So I think that's the whole ecosystem of it. Whereas the accounts that are, like somewhat like mines was and things like that, they feed off of accounts that were less than that. So uh, it, it's just it's crazy, guys. That's all I can say, man. So yeah, you guys are right. The time it spends. Uh, Chaos Arena is another event where uh, you get an opportunity to get more rewards. You know, at the cost of troops and things like that. You know, so that just is crazy. Yeah, guys, that's really crazy. So I want to do some guild quests right quick. But of course, I'm going to use the clicker. I'm not going to be sitting there clicking all of this stuff. So let's go. Shot away. So if you're not familiar with the phone clicker, you can get it on Google Play. So let's get some. Let's start this and get this going. All right. Oops, my bad, guys. Let's pause. Put this out the way. All right, here. Right here. Let's go over some. Anyways, let's get anyway. Let's go. So I use the phone clicker to open up my chests and things like that. Large mobile. That one needs to go over some. We'll stop it. Scoot it over some. Right there. And we'll push play. There we go. Sometimes it will. Sometimes you can lose actual scrolls because it actually click things that it'll click out a sequence that you have set up for. As you can see, it's doing now, but for the most part, it's pretty good. I think it could be set up better. Like if I pause here and let me see here, guys. Let's add one more here, so that maybe hopefully we can do a little faster, a little better there. All right, let's see if this does better. The goal is for your auto completes over here on the right column here, the right side, will shorten. And I may need to adjust my speed and things like that. It should lessen on the right side there, but as you can see, there's some quests that are not done, which I don't really care right now because I'm just trying to finish or just do one quest. I'm not like I'm opening up a whole lot, to be honest. So, but it's actually good. That's how it should go. They should slowly use one at a time, and it should clear out the entire 9 of them that's there before it goes to a new guild quest. But sometimes, like I said, you waste some guild quests in the process because of just how it is, man. I think that's enough right there, though. Let's see. All right, I think that's enough right there. So I cut that right there. So sometimes it cannot just be in the exact sequence that it should be. If I scoop this up here, if I move these up some, like that. Let's see what happens. Yes, an extra quest comes up and you lose a little bit. There's another one. But for the most part, you could simply remove number 2 here and just make it to where 1 and 2 will be over here. Something like this here. I'm gonna show you guys. If I did something like this here, put this here, right there, and then click this here. This is what I would get. I would click that forward. I would click that forward. Actually, that's not what I want. I would just do that there and just let it go like this. I would exit out like this and just keep exiting out like that until I'm ready to actually click that. So I could actually assist it a little bit, because when that happens, as you see that keeps popping up, that means it's kind of like out of sequence or something, or maybe too fast, and I could slow it down or something maybe. because I don't want to lose actual quests, you know. So I could actually put one. Let me put another one right here, guys. Just a second. Pause. Stop here. Add one right there on top of here. And put one on top of there, so this guy can disappear. But it will probably. Oh my goodness. Let's try that and see what happens. But I would still probably need one on the number 2, you know. But I can probably still click right here and take care of that right there. When it comes up, I can do that. I can push in the middle, manually push that one right there in the middle to keep it flowing. But I wanted to do the auto clicking on its own so I don't have to touch anything, you know. This way I'm not wasting scrolls or wasting, quests. Alright, so that's enough of that. Alright, there we go. So I'm sure that's done by now, of course. I can grab another one of those. So I have one quest left, which is another guild quest or something like that. Also, when you're free to play, of course, you don't. You know, I used to always wonder how people like Den would score so high. And Den is free to play, guys. He was in the guild with me. He's been playing with me since I started back with Lords Mobile. Met him on YouTube, and he's a hell of a great guy from Ukraine. Shout out to Ukraine and Gil, Den, and you know, all of my old partners, Taze, Dexter, and YJ, and Sonny. Shout out to you guys. Shout out to my old guild as well. Shout out to my new guild. Alright, so let's go in here, guys, and let's look at other things you can do here. Hell Events gives you some sorts of ways. A lot of people are able to pay attention to this, and they notify their guild mates and they ask that when this medal is out for that hero to notify them so they can get that free to play hero. But it requires being able to do the quests. If you're able to do those quests, some people will not be able to do those particular quests there. So that's one of the things I wanted to definitely get with you guys about and go over with you guys. Let's see here what we got here. That's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for all right, so yeah, basically what I'm saying, guys, I feel everything you guys are saying, and it is difficult, very difficult, guys. So, and the game's been out now for 9 years. It ain't gonna get better, man. It hasn't, for free to play. So I'm in the boat with you guys. That's one thing for sure, is I'm here with you guys. I am free to play now. I do not spend on Lords Mobile anymore. I'm not going to fall into any of their traps. I'm not going to fall into any of their irresistible packs that you just feel like you must have, you know, because they are irresistible. What's the purpose of this? if they're all the same. What's the purpose of that? Here's some quests that you can do. Actually, if you're capable, encounter the Guardian 6 times. A lot of this people cannot do. Increase might. Some things you can do. Some things you cannot do. And what is these lucky coins? Harvest spins. There's one there. Let's go down. So definitely different scenery, a different, completely different situation here. So I'm in the same boat you guys are in. I'm just going to be in the same boat you guys are. And I see what people mean. I see better now what people mean by they need speeds for this, or can I send them this speeds and that speed? Which those are things I used to do for, especially for my guild mates, or especially if I'm cool with a person. I had no problem sending a guild mate 100k gems or 500k gems, or trying to give out, rewards to the viewers and things like that. But you got to keep in mind that all of that is not necessarily free for me. All right, man. So you see I have 130k gems. As you guys know, I'm used to having about 5 to 10 million gems. So I don't know, man. You just work with whatever you got. Is what you can do. But I'm excited about the Coliseum. I have some new heroes that I can play with in the Coliseum, but it seems like a lot of them are not as great, to be honest. I don't know. Oh my God, let's see some of these guys. Who can we beat this guy with?
A new chapter begins. I've been waiting.
Darkness is the one true justice. Let's have a blast, yeah?
Sure, guys. I'm gonna speed it up for sure.
I won't give up.
Chop her down. That was really crazy. Chop her down. That dude doing all that damn damage, man, is ridiculous. Makes no sense. Sometimes the Coliseum just is not really accurate, guys. Who's that person? And 2. And 2, guys. And 2. We're gonna find and 2 again. And take him down. There's some background noise right here. So I want to find him and defeat him. I never understood this random range of players you can compete against in the Coliseum. I haven't been doing the other new Coliseum yet, but I'll start doing that too. That's going to be a great way to learn certain to mastermind or master certain uh, phalanxes and things like that. Possibly, because if you don't have the correct familiars and the right amount of troops and things like that, then it probably won't benefit you as much. IgG is crazy about that. So what does IgG really have going on here, guys? I mean, when they make up all these other little things here, it's like, are they doing it for free to play or are they doing it for pay to play? I mean, it's like all these little events and expeditions and new things that IgG come up with, IgG invents or creates and presents to us. Who are they? Who are they for? I mean, who is actually benefiting from it? Who's going to be actually benefiting from this Coliseum right here? Division 7 rankings. That's similar to what my account looked like, guys. So who's actually benefiting, guys? So this is all Calvary. And depending on what familiars one has in there. So it's definitely going to be based off a person's familiar because you're only allowed to send single troop types. So it's definitely not for the big guys. 100% Calvary. Let's challenge somebody, guys. Let's go ahead with it and challenge somebody. My team is 361 million. This guy is 777 million. This guy is 900 something million. Let's see if we can challenge this guy. Let's keep that there. Edit my team. We got Stackers, Cavalry, Abominable. We may not want this Abominable here. We may have to go with something like, what else do we have? So it's definitely based off what familiars you have available to you. Let's put him back in the game. 1, 2, 3. This don't go in there. And I don't know what happened there, guys. I had different armies set up here for something. No worries. So it's definitely going to be based off how many troops you have, what kind of familiars you have, all of that. So let's challenge this guy. Let's challenge. Let's fight this guy. See what happens. He's using at the start of the battle infantry HP. I'm using infantry attack. Infantry? This is cavalry. What the hell is it? It's cavalry, right? I don't know what just happened there. His morale is staying very stable. This is largest scale based off your initial infantry attack. Okay, now we get into the stacking going on. This is cavalry, right? Yeah, this is cavalry. So I don't know what infantry has to do with this. There's another stacking there. We're at 29% though, so we are pretty much being dealt with. All right, and I'm not really paying much attention to it, guys. I'm just in there right now. All right, so yeah, just the purpose of the video, guys, is just to show you guys. I get what you're saying. It's going to be lengthy, and there's a ton of things you can do, but it takes a ton of your time. Nobody really that has a job or family is really able to commit and dedicate so much time and so much of their life for so little. So that's crazy, guys. So I just wanted to share that with you, that you guys know I understand. And I mean, to me, it's like almost not worth playing. It's almost not worth playing, guys. I mean, literally. Somebody removed the Libereth. Could have went in there, possibly encountered. Research. Alright, guys. I'll see you guys again next weekend. Till then, stay safe. Have a good week. Air from Kansas City. Take care, guys. Wish you guys the best, and free to play is tough.